Hey everyone, you're listening to InfoQuench with Jeff
and Amy,
a podcast with tips to make your life easier.
Covering pop culture, parenting, travel, minimalism, and more.
Hey everybody, and welcome to InfoQuench. I'm your host, Jeff.
And I'm Amy.
And this podcast, we're going to be talking about words.
Yes, word on the street is that there are a lot of words that people commonly mispronounce. And I'm guilty of it myself.
We all are.
Oh, yeah. A great many of them. If you happen to catch our last episode on hurricanes, you'll remember that I struggled quite strongly with one particular word, which I've been practicing.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Meteorological.
Yeah, there you go. Meteorological. It's just a mouthful, that's all. A lot of different syllables.
Syllables. But it got me thinking that we should do an episode on commonly mispronounced words.
There are so many of them, and I am guilty of some myself. Although I haven't gone so far as to mispronounce schedule. I think that is a generational thing. I think that the older generations mostly do that.
Or a geographical thing, too.
Is it?
I think Americans are more apt to, like the American way to pronounce it would be schedule.
Yeah.
And I
Canadian.
think it's more British to say schedule.
Schedule is more British. Oh, well, so there probably isn't a miss. There isn't a way to pronounce it incorrectly. It's just a different geographical saying.
So there are some words that can be pronounced multiple ways and aren't necessarily incorrect. And then there's other ones that are just outright wrong. And it's, I'll probably laugh as we're going through some of these. Some of them I know that I just use on a daily basis and I've been saying them wrong. Other ones are just, I don't know. Hopefully you'll get a laugh out of them too.
Well, yeah, that's the way it is.
And maybe you'll learn some things. Maybe you got them all down pat, and that's great too. One of the words is actually, even when we talk about pronunciation, a lot of people say pronunciation. Or they spell it that way as well. They'll put the O in the same way you would say pronounce, but when you say pronunciation.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, that's a good one to start with, because I think that's a probably very commonly misused or mispronounced word, pronunciation. Actually, I think I've honestly said both in my life at some point.
It's easier when you're reading something too. When the word's in front of you, you have the benefit of seeing the letters and saying it correctly. But when you're just talking, it can be, not quite as easy. So first one, and I might quiz you a little bit on some of these.
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah.
One of the ingredients in one of my favorite drinks, the
Aperol?
Caesar.
Oh, Caesar? Yeah.
Is a little sauce, a little dark sauce, and a little jar.
Little dark sauce.
Not the Tabasco, but the other.
Oh, Worcestershire. I can't say it. I can't say it anyway. So, Worcestershire. I think that's what it is, right? Worcestershire. What is it?
Well, I read in quite a bit on this. There's a whole background about the place in England where it's from. It's named after a county, but Worcestershire. I still can't even really say it, to be honest. The Shire is actually completely dropped. And it's more of it's a common thing. It's been simplified, I guess.
Was I even remotely close when I said it? Worcestershire?
Well, if you say it fast enough, nobody can tell what you're saying anyway, right?
Worcestershire.
It's one I always struggled with. You see all those letters, and it's hard to get.
Well, that one's an easy one to struggle with.
This one I remember from...
I think everyone struggles with that one.
Finding Nemo and Anemone. That's...
A what? Say it again.
Anemone.
Anemone? Not anonymity.
Now I'm showing Jeff the word written out.
Oh, yeah.
So it's A-N-E.
What does that even mean?
M-O-N-E. Well, it's on Finding Nemo. It's like it's a sedentary marine animal. It's where the clownfish lives, and it's actually scientifically correct. Not just on Nemo, but clownfish in real life live among the poisonous testicles. Not
what?
Poisonous
They live in poisonous testicles? What?
Tentacles.
We are not re-recording this. That's too good.
This is getting off to a bad start.
That's too good. No, it's good. I love it.
Poisonous tentacles
I love
of
it.
the anemone.
Where does the clownfish live, honey?
In the poisonous tentacles of the anemone.
The poisonous testicles. Oh, that's too funny.
Yes, that's great. I just had a flashback of reading aloud in Not
What? What is going on here?
reading out loud.
Aloud? Did you say aloud?
I said aloud.
Yeah.
Out loud.
How would you spell that? Allowed?
Oh, never mind. Let's move on to the next one.
All right, let's go. What?
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's to that means get it. Yeah.
So some people will say camaraderie.
Familiarity.
But there are a lot of syllables in it that are all supposed to be pronounced.
Say it again.
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When people
I think that's the way I said it.
friends or have
Or
a
maybe I say
relationship at different
camaraderie.
time.
I just say camaraderie, but I just shorten
Well,
it.
you would be wrong.
It's kind of like the way people always say Saturday Night Live rather than Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live.
See, yeah, most people say Saturday Night Live. Did you watch Saturday Night Live last night? Did you watch Saturday Night Live? It's Saturday Night Live. Live.
All right. Camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
Is said. This one we touched on in another one. We talked about acronyms, but the acronym of GIF, which if you're searching to send some funny things as a comment online and social media, you'll be familiar with
Oh, yeah.
GIFs.
GIFs.
Which I always called GIFs.
But they're not
But they're pronounced GIFs.
GIFs?
And who says that? Well, the inventor. He actually invented them for CompuServe, and he did it that way because he was hoping that people would sort of riff off of the GIF peanut butter TV ads, and it'd be like choosy developers choose GIF.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, he wanted
completely.
He wanted to rip off like the
I'm going to rebel against that and still call them GIFs.
Well, we all do, don't we?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe those in the know don't.
Well, a lot of these, when I was looking up the pronunciations, some of them were, I guess, originally pronounced one way, but then as years go on and people develop a new way of saying things, it becomes accepted.
That's true.
Right? Yeah. So this one is one of my ones that I learned later in life when I began drinking it.
What? What?
I began drinking it.
You can't talk tonight.
What is happening to me?
That's so funny.
It must be all the espresso.
Espresso, yeah, that's probably it. Or the espresso.
Well, that's right. So that's how it's normally mispronounced with the X. Espresso.
Yeah. It's espresso.
That's right.
That's so funny.
Espresso. Keep those Italians happy.
That's right.
Oh. Across.
Oh, it's just across the way. It's just across the bay.
It might be a little bit of a colloquialism, but we often will say that.
Yeah.
It's just across the street. Instead of across, we add the little extra ed at the end of it.
Or T even. Across.
Or T, depending on the day.
It's true. That's probably is a local thing, I think, maybe. But I have heard this. I don't think I do it myself. I would never say something like that. But I know other people who do. Like they're my friends and everything. But
what about affidavit?
Affidavit.
A lot of
David. Right?
Yeah.
It's David, not David.
That's right. Like unless your lawyer's name is David.
That's right.
It's still affidavit.
Right. Gotcha. So
that's a legal document. It ends with IT, not ID.
Affidavit. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah.
Alzheimer's. So it's a horrible disease, but it's a disease that is also horribly mispronounced at times as Alzheimer's disease.
What?
Yes.
What do you mean?
You've never heard that before? There are people who I think maybe they have a hard time with the original. It's named after whomever discovered it, I guess, or originally named the disease, Alzheimer.
Yeah.
But a lot of people call it Old-timers disease.
But that has nothing to do with the pronunciation of Alzheimer's, though.
Well, maybe if they saw the word, they would pronounce it differently.
Yeah. Well, definitely. I just don't see. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
No, I think that's what some people actually feel that that's what it's called.
Yeah. Well, the Alzheimer's disease.
Right. No, they don't. They think they don't realize that people are saying Alzheimer's. They think they're saying old timers.
Really?
Well, yes, because it's usually people who are in their senior years.
I don't know why that's funny to me.
That's the onset of the disease, so they say. Yeah. I don't know. I've heard it quite often.
Wow. Yeah, that one throws me for a loop because it doesn't even sound even remotely. I mean, I guess if you were old and you couldn't hear properly and stuff.
Listen for it now, and listeners, you too. You'll hear people use them. Okay, let's talk about some that are a little more subtle.
Okay, let's do it. Let's go for the subtle words.
When I'm talking about the dimensions of something, length, width.
Height.
No.
Height.
Yes.
Yeah. People say height. I was just saying what people usually say, not what I always say at all. It's just height. Height.
I expect through this entire episode that when you say something incorrectly, honey, that you're really just trying to represent the masses who say it incorrectly.
Just my friends and stuff, people I know, they make mistakes all the time. They make mistakes all the time. I mean, that's how I learn not to do certain things.
I have the word in front of me, so I have the benefit of that. I think the height correction is something I learned maybe just a couple of years ago.
Yeah. We should, just while we're talking about misheard things, for a future podcast we're going to be doing a podcast about misheard song lyrics. So please, if you have some, and not ones that you've necessarily read online and stuff like that, because Amy and I are going to do research for that one, but just ones that you or people close to you or whatever have mispronounced, please send it to us, and Facebook or Instagram or something like that, and we'll include them. And if you don't want your name used, just let us know. Yes. Yeah. And so I mean that's going to be a fun one, because there's some doozies.
Oh, there is. There's yes.
Actually, I almost want to just share just one right now.
Okay, you go ahead.
It's probably my favorite one, and I don't remember who it was that heard it this way. But if you're familiar with AC/DC, they have a song called "Dirty Deeds," and the Deeds and the Done Dirt Cheap. I think that's what it is.
Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. That's right. And then,
but that wasn't enough to have to pay for any royalties.
I butchered this one. Anyways, a friend of mine once heard 30 Thieves and the Thunder Chief, and I just thought that was hilarious. So anyway, those are the kinds of things that we're going to be looking for. So please send them along to our social media platforms and whatnot. And, just get involved with the podcast.
I feel like this is a bit of a personal dig on me, because I am the worst with song
You
lyrics.
are. It's not a personal dig.
I completely try to wing it, though, because I love to sing out loud so much in the car that I just completely make them up. And I know I'm so wrong.
I know. I love it, because you always go through this phase when you sing the chorus, that. It's like, footloose, footloose. Bring out the big blue cheese, Louise McCrease.
Always louder and more confident.
And then
I actually know the words.
And then the best part for me, anyways, when I'm in the car just listening to you, is when you just don't know the words at all, and you just go and then you come right back in when you know the words. Footloose.
Poor Hux isn't gonna have a hope from knowing any of these words.
Well, let's get back to our crazy words.
All right. Where are we at? Ooh, this is one I say incorrectly all the time. If a little child is bad,
they're misbehaving.
Or
mischievous.
It's not mischievous.
Mischievous. Oh yeah, I say
mischievous too.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
So there is a tendency to want to put that extra E sound in it. So it's not mischievous, it's mischievous.
Isn't that interesting?
And it's spelled that way too.
Why do we say mischievous then?
I have no idea.
I wonder, what I wonder sometimes, if when actors are doing movies and stuff, do they have people who are professionals with pronunciations and words? They must.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
I mean, well, not just
if they're doing different dialects.
Yeah, but not if that's what I mean. Not including if they're doing different, accents and dialogues and stuff. I just mean, just make sure, mischievous, for example. Can you imagine, if we were in a Hollywood film and then we were famous for mispronouncing that name in a really blockbuster movie where no one ever heard it before?
Perhaps the character was someone that you think should pronounce that name.
Yeah, that's true.
Mispronounce that name, as we just both did.
Yeah. What's the next word? I like these words.
Well, cavalry.
Cavalry.
A lot of people say Calvary. They put the L in the wrong one.
But it's cavalry.
Right. Cavalry.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Candidate.
Candidate.
It's not candidate. It's candidate.
Candidate.
Lots of D's in that one.
Really?
Candidate. Yeah,
Candidate.
people tend to drop the
Candidate.
first D and
I've
say
always
candidate.
I've always said candidate. Always. So that's one that I have done my whole life and not known.
All right, check
Candidate.
for you. Oh, I said this one wrong. This may be more of a saying than a word, but I always say card shark.
Card shark.
It's card sharp.
Card shark. I always said card shark too. Honestly. So there's another one. Boom, boom. Two in a row. Really? Really? Because I thought it was like, because you always use that word, like card shark, when someone is being so savvy playing the game, like they're just cleaning up so that they're the shark of cards.
But
is
they're
what I
also
thought.
very sharp mentally.
Yeah, but I like card shark more.
And then there's also
Don't
pool
you?
shark.
Yeah, pool shark too. But is that pool sharp?
Oh, I don't know.
It's got to be It's got to be a pool shark.
Well, I'm gonna have to find that one out.
We're gonna have to find that one and report back to you for sure. What's the next one?
Well, some people say this one made me laugh a little bit. You're familiar with carpal tunnel syndrome?
Yeah.
Which is
when you're
it's in the carpal tunnel is a part of your
guitar
forearm.
players get it a lot.
Some people call it carpool tunnel syndrome.
Oh,
I don't know.
man.
Maybe if you have to go through a lot of
That's
tunnels
horrible.
on your carpool trip, maybe that's when that would,
Yeah.
be something that would inflict pain.
I don't know about that one. That one's just a misheard, I guess. One.
What about the capital of Scotland?
Edinburgh?
Edinburgh. Yeah, that's right. So
Edinburgh.
that one is spelled.
We learned that though when we were in Scotland.
We did.
We
Luckily,
have
had the
Scottish friends who
benefit
set us straight really quick.
after we landed in.
Can we go to Edinburgh? Can we go there?
We landed in Edinburgh, but
Yeah.
we left Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. That's right. We left Edinburgh. That's true.
Lamb-based. We
Yes.
don't lambaste something.
No, you
or someone.
lamb-based it.
We lamb-baste them.
That's right. That's
Picture
right.
yourself basting a lamb,
that's like
and you will
when you
remember.
brush your teeth, you use toothpaste, not toothpaste, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Who says toothpaste?
Even if it happened in the past,
Right.
you still don't call it toothpaste. Here's one that's a bit of a newer food people have been eating quinoa for ages, but quinoa is a newer, more mainstream ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
And some people have trouble pronouncing it. They might say quinoa, but it is pronounced quinoa.
Quinoa.
It's spelled Quuinoa,
Yeah.
and it's spelled quinoa.
Oh, do
It's
you
a
remember?
small edible crop seed if you're not familiar with it.
I don't know if you have this one on your list, but remember when you learnt the proper pronunciation for something else that we were eating with, like, do you remember?
Bruschetta.
Yeah. Is that on your list?
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
I was sitting on a plane one time next to a professor who was Italian,
Yeah.
and I don't think I was ordering bruschetta on the plane, but somehow.
You got talking
Oh, I think I
about...
just bloody asked him what bruschetta was called because I
You just bloody asked him?
because I was
Oh,
and so he let me know it was called actually bruschetta, but we tend to say bruschetta
bruschetta.
in North
We do.
America. And I've actually was corrected by a waitress when I ordered bruschetta, and she said, "Oh, you mean the bruschetta?"
Yeah.
But I let it go because that's how I am.
Yeah.
Easy going.
You could have gotten
easy breezy.
in a really good
Didn't
restaurant
want any spit
fight.
in the old bruschetta.
You both grab butter knives. It's bruschetta.
So yes, according to the Italian, it's bruschetta.
Mm-hmm.
I believe them.
Interesting.
They know their stuff.
Yeah.
They know their food.
I've always
Food.
said bruschetta, to be honest, because I didn't know any better. So.
How do you say somebody who plays sports?
What do you mean? A player?
They're good at sports. What do you say?
Athlete.
Right.
Yeah.
Not athlete.
No, just athlete.
Right.
Yeah, I've always said that proper. Thank goodness. I hope you did too, listener.
And what did we put on Huxley's sandwich this morning?
Mayonnaise.
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 Right.
Not mayonnaise.
Right. Which
Right.
some people say mayonnaise.
Oh, yeah.
Some people say mayo.
You know what?
Mayo.
I say it too. Half asleep in the morning. Give me the mayonnaise. Just like that.
Those extra syllables are too much.
Mayonnaise.
Don't make me say syllables before I've had my coffee.
Pass me the mayonnaise and margarine.
Margin. Foyer. Do you say foyer or foyer?
I always say foyer.
Now, this one was one that I had read articles.
Of course
that
you
said
did.
Foyer was outright wrong, but I think most of those were American sources.
Okay.
I think in Europe they're more apt to pronounce it foyer.
Yes.
With the French pronunciation. And I think that's probably why here, New Brunswick being a bilingual province, we tend to pronounce it in the French way as well. The ER as A rather than
I would just feel wrong saying foyer.
Foyer.
Yeah, that just doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it doesn't.
If you picture it, what looks more beautiful, the foyer or the foyer?
The foyer. What's nicer, the
Which one has
vase or the vase?
Which one has a chandelier? The foyer.
The foyer. Yeah. The foyer has like, one lamp with like, a 30-watt bulb in it.
A pile of
barely
shoes
even
in the corner.
A pile of shoes.
Yes.
Yeah. Some bum sleeping in the corner. Yeah, definitely.
The butler's hanging out in the foyer.
That's right.
Oh, this one is another. I always remember on Price is Right, Bob Barker would say at the end of every episode to have your pets spayed and neutered.
Yeah.
And so with a male dog, it's neutering. With a female dog, we spay them. We don't spade them.
Right, yeah.
So it's just S-P-A-Y. And that is a common one.
Yeah, that is a very common one.
So if you have the procedure done on an animal, they've been spayed, not spaded.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's a moot point.
Moot point. Yeah.
Not a mute point. A moot point. It's irrelevant.
Well, if it was mute,
debate,
you wouldn't. The point wouldn't have even been made because you wouldn't hear it. Right?
That's true. Or there's Joey from Friends' definition.
What's his definition?
It's a moo point.
A moo point.
It's like what cows say. It just doesn't matter.
Oh, it just doesn't matter. That's a good point. The good point is the cow
The meaning
point.
was there.
That's right.
Do you say barbed wire?
No.
What do you say?
I say barbed wire.
Barbed wire.
Yeah.
So barbed wire is another one that people have started to say because it's easier to say.
Bob wire? Bob?
Bob wire. Oh yeah, I've heard that. Have you ever heard of a bomb fire?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Bomb fire, as in bomb.
Yeah.
Blow up bomb. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bonfire instead of bonfire. That's another really common one.
Bonfire. I've heard. Yeah, that has got to be a local one for local people.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
This is a berry I always have a hard time pronouncing. Acai.
Acai? Is that what you're talking
It's
about?
acai.
Acai. Oh.
And I saw so many different pronunciations of this. So some people will say acai, acai, or just acai. But you actually stress the last syllable of E. So it's acai. Acai.
What kind of berry is this?
It's a species of palm tree from the American rainforest. It's best known for its health-giving reddish-purple berry. The acai.
Acai berries.
Yes.
Interesting.
Which I didn't even know existed like 5
heard.
or 6 years ago, but now they're in every smoothie in the world.
I've never even heard that word before in my life.
Really?
Acai? No.
No, but acai.
Acai,
perhaps.
I mean.
You must have seen it written on things.
I don't think so. It doesn't
You
seem
will
familiar.
now.
It doesn't seem familiar at all to me.
In a whole nother place.
In a whole Oh, that's good. Everybody says that.
Oh, yes.
Pretty much. Well, no, maybe not, but
I think it's common.
a lot of people do. In a whole other place.
Whole nother time.
In a whole nother time.
I don't know why we say that.
I don't know why either. What would it be if we didn't say it incorrectly? What would be the correct way to say it?
In an other
in
place.
In
an other place. It just doesn't. I guess we say it that way because it rolls off the tongue easier.
Well,
right?
it would have to be in another.
Like old timers is easier to say than Alzheimer's, which is a German name.
Yeah.
So.
Well, hopefully you're learning something, valued listener.
Do you know this word, Jeff? I'm holding up a word.
Sanguine?
Sanguine? Sanguine.
Yeah, did I say it right?
So it means cheerful, hopeful, confident.
Yeah.
And sanguine for the win. You got it. I would have said sanguine.
Sanguine.
But
No.
it's sanguine.
Sanguine. Yeah.
So
No.
it's when you stay happy and cheerful, even in a bad situation.
Which is exactly what our listeners do after listening to our podcast.
Yeah, it was a rough start.
Yeah, it was a rough start. It was funny, though. The whole testicle thing was pretty funny.
Yeah, thanks for letting me relive that one.
If you didn't
already.
hear it, please rewind it and listen to it over and over again. Put it on repeat. It's great.
Supposedly.
Supposedly? Who says that? Supposedly?
All kinds of people say supposedly.
No.
Yes.
Nobody we know.
I want you to listen for these.
Supposedly?
They're being said far and wide.
Supposedly.
Supposedly
I've never-
is, of course, the right way to say it, but supposedly is very common.
I've never said that one wrong.
Okay, well, I'm
I
glad.
must say.
All right, well, we can stay married.
Okay, great.
Drowned.
Drowned. Drought. That
Yeah.
drought is said
Adding
a
a
lot.
D or a T on the end is common, but it's really just drown. He drowned.
Yeah.
You don't have to put...
But what's the past tense of drowned?
Oh, if you... you add the D if it's the past tense.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. He drowned down
Like-
by the river.
Like he had drowned.
Yeah. He or she.
But if you're just saying drown, it's drown.
Yeah.
This one. Where does Santa Claus live?
The North Pole.
Okay, and what's also the real geographical location for that?
What?
I know the North Pole exists, but I mean, what's the landmass up there
The Antarctic?
or down there? Antarctic's at the south, and what's at the top?
What? Just tell me.
Arctic.
Oh. The
That was a really
Arctic.
roundabout way to try to get you to say Arctic.
Arctic. I always say the Arctic. I do. Arctic.
Do you?
Or do I?
I think I dropped the
Arctic?
C. So
I
the
do
key
too.
on this
Yeah,
one
you
is
know
to
what?
pronounce that first C. It's
Yeah.
Arctic, and
Yeah.
same with ant, Arctic. I tend to say Arctic.
Arctic.
I drop that C.
Yeah,
I say
do. I do
ARTIC.
too. I think most people
And
do.
I am wrong.
Yeah, I'm wrong too.
Arctic.
I am Jeff and I am wrong.
Do you like to let ideas percolate?
Percolate.
It's actually percolate.
Percolate. See, I say percolate.
Yeah,
I do.
I do too. I think coffee percolates. I think all the things are
But
with
no,
the
it
letter U.
percolates.
No, it's percolate.
Huh.
It would be peculiar to
Well-
say percolate. Sherbet.
Sherbet. Yeah.
Sherbet.
Sherbet. Sherbet.
Well, some people
Sorbet.
say sherbet.
Sorbet.
Sorbet.
But some say sorbet.
Do they?
No, I just made that one up.
But sherbet is not a word because there's not two R's in it. It's sherbet.
Okay.
I always say sherbet.
It's funny because there'll always be those people that mispronounce words that are obviously
Like
not supposed to be.
Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago, and then like, I have a friend named Jason, and someone calls him Jason.
What?
Jason. I'm just joking. No, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
Gala.
Gala, Gala,
Gala. So there's Gala, Gala, and Gala.
Gala. Okay.
So all three are actually used in different contexts. You can be talking about apples, the Gala apple.
Yeah. So tell us which
But-
ones that you are guilty of, listener.
Well, I've got lots more on here.
Well, let's go. We got lots of time.
Okay. Prostate. This isn't what I'm guilty of, but prostate is prostate, not prostrate.
Prostrate,
is
yeah.
more of a position. Prostate
Yes.
is the body part, the
Mhm.
male's body part.
Lightning round. Let's go.
Okay. It's film, not film.
Yeah, I know people who say film.
Okay. It's prescription, not prescription.
I knew that one too. Prescription.
It's nuclear, not nuclear.
Yeah, nuclear. I knew that one too.
4 presidents have been Bush, Clinton, Carter, and Eisenhower have all mispronounced nuclear, despite having the codes at their
Nuclear.
fingertips.
Oh my goodness, that's horrible.
And I want to...
Trump has probably added to it too.
Yes. And I will finish off with niche.
Niche.
I always wondered if it was niche or niche.
It's niche.
They've both been used commonly enough that they're becoming more easily accepted.
Okay.
Both of them. I like niche. niche is obviously the very anglophone version of it.
Okay.
So hopefully you picked up a few maybe that you've been saying, and listen to me bang. I know I banged something off the mic again. Hopefully it wasn't too loud.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye-bye.
Till next time.
Remember where clownfish live. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening.
Be sure to visit InfoQuench.com to subscribe and catch up on past episodes.
You can also check out InfoQuench on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Till next time.